Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman, W4CY Radio, with our special Positively Pipeman segment with our expert guest on some powerful business strategies. Let's welcome to the show, Michael Barbarita. How are you?
Fantastic, Dean. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm especially doing great because I want to learn today what the 5 steps are that I have to cover to be successful in business.
Well, as you know, I hope everybody could tell that I'm very passionate about what I do. And, I have a 15-minute segment, but I can go on for days and days and days. But here's the thing. You see, whether you work with me or someone else, there are 5 critical steps that you must take in order to implement business and financial strategies that your competition isn't doing. And the first step is clarity. So what I mean by that is, before you can start to do tactical things, you have to strategically understand, why am I doing this? Where am I headed? And what does success look like for me? But not in your business, in your life. Dean, I've seen this mistake happen over and over and over again, and it might be happening to some of your listeners right now, where they're so excited to make their impact in the world that they jump out there and they create this business, and then all of a sudden they're fitting their life around this business thing they created. But the way it should work is that you first create the life you want, and then you let the business, which is the asset, serve you, allowing you to get to that life. Does that make sense?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I love that.
That's clarity. So once you have clarity, the second step is a step-by-step roadmap. For example, and let me just give you an example of one strategy that I'll give you the roadmap to. So the step-by-step roadmap to a risk reversal is, first, you need to identify who the customer is. Second, we have to identify the problem the customer has. Third, we have to come up with the solution to that problem, our unique solution. Fourth, we have to test the problem and solution to make sure we got it right. And then fifth, we have to create a risk reversal to make our offer compelling. But you have to also understand what a risk reversal is and what it isn't. The essence of a risk reversal is to eliminate or reduce the customer's perceived risk, making it easier for them to say yes to your offer. So that's step 2. And by the way, that's for any strategy that you're going to implement. You need a step-by-step roadmap. So number one is clarity. So you first need clarity. Second is the step-by-step roadmap. And the third thing is you have to upgrade your skills. Some people might be wondering things like, can I really implement business and financial strategies that my competition isn't doing? Well, before I implemented things like the ski guarantee, because sometimes what happens is you're already doing something. For example, before I implemented my ski guarantee, where it was ski the ski 3 times, you don't like it, bring it back for a brand new pair and keep bringing it back until you get it right, that helped me grow my business from $2.5 million to $8 million in 5 years. Before I implemented that ski guarantee, if we sold a pair of skis to a customer and they came back into the store saying that the skis weren't right for them, guess what we did? We gave them a brand new pair of skis, no question asked. All I did was put the ski guarantee into my offer to make my offer more compelling. I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
So that's part of a skills upgrade. It's, some of these things that, because people wonder if they can do it, they can implement strategies or not. Sometimes it's just a review of what you've been doing. And,
right.
We do, because I said to myself, we do this anyway. My employees were going crazy when I talked about this, because they had visions of thousands of pair of skis coming back and the customer putting one over on us and all that. But we were doing it anyway. We just didn't advertise it. We figured we'd now put it in our offer to make our offer more compelling, because we're going to do it anyway. And as long as we trust that the customer just wanted a great ski experience and didn't want to put one over on the retailer, which was 99.99% of the people, we did it. And that's part of a skills upgrade.
I love that too. Like, So first of all, going back to the clarity, I don't think you can accomplish anything without clarity. I'm also a big believer that your office, your work environment, whatever it is, has to have no clutter, because clutter creates non-clarity. So
Interesting.
that's all part of it too. And yes, how do you know how to get somewhere if you don't have the roadmap? You have to, like, you can't just figure it out of thin air. You need the roadmap. And then something as simple as you just talked about. I mean, when people, you say an upgrade or
Skills upgrade. Yeah.
a skills upgrade,
Yeah.
basically people are thinking, oh, am I going to have to take a class? Am I going to have to
Right.
do this? Something as simple as offering something that you already are offering, but making it look like a bonus. That's brilliant.
Yeah. And that's really, that's just part of a skills upgrade, just to understand what you're doing now and how you can incorporate it into an offer that makes it compelling. I
Yeah.
mean, well, because just about every business owner I work with, Dean, and every business owner that I actually know cares deeply about the customer experience. They actually care deeply about it. And
Sure.
so they're doing a lot of things right now that are enhancing the customer experience, but they're not incorporating it in their offer. And that's part of the skills upgrade.
There you go.
And so it's clarity, step one, step-by-step roadmap, step two, upgrade your skills, step three. Step four is mastering your psychology.
Mm.
What it took to start your business and what it takes to grow your business requires a completely different mindset. Businesses that go from 0 to 250 need a completely different mindset to go from 250 to a million.
Mhm.
And then another complete mindset shift to go from a million to 2 million, or a million to 3 million, and so on. And the business can't grow unless your mindset grows. If you like, going back to my ski guarantee, where I said the employee's mindset was thousands of pair of skis are going to come back and we're going to lose a ton of money. But that didn't happen. You need to have the right mindset to see things the right way. And that's why mindset is really important, because there's a number of ways that your mindset can play games with you, especially in the selling process, where you absolutely have to believe, and we're going to talk about this in a future show, you absolutely have to believe in your product or service and that it's the best option for the customer. And that's a mindset shift, because all we're thinking about is our competitors do the same thing, and the customer's really not going to get any value unless we drop our drawers and drop our price.
Mm.
So, but that's for a future show.
I think
But
mindset is key. Totally.
yeah, absolutely, because you need a shift. You cannot have them at between 0 and 250, and that's an arbitrary number that I'm throwing out. But between 0 and $250,000, you must have a different mindset if you're going to grow beyond that. It just has to happen, because if it doesn't, you're going to be stuck with a $250,000 company.
Well, and I'm a firm believer in think as if. You have to think as if you're in a certain group, we'll call it, to be in that group. It's kind of part of it. It's part of the roadmap, in my opinion.
Interesting, because you're a mind reader. Because step 5 is optimize your environment. So we business owners have saboteurs. I call them organizational terrorists, whatever you want to call it. It's normally family and friends, by the way. They're the ones who are constantly negative and constantly questioning what you're doing. And it puts a real damper on the business owner's ability to think or to have the mindset that's needed in order to grow the business. So you need to optimize your environment by being surrounded by the right people to counter the organizational terrorists.
Yeah,
So,
you know what?
Yeah.
On that point,
yeah,
and family and friends you think are going to be your biggest supporters, and they're usually not.
right. That's right. And that's why optimizing your environment in terms of being with people who are supporting you is critical, because it's so difficult to grow a business. It's not all these concepts that we're talking about. aren't easy. They're not easy to do. And but when you have people who are constantly negative and questioning what you're doing, it makes it much more difficult to establish the mindset that's needed to go from 250 to 750 or 250 to $1 million or $1 million to $2 million. And so that's why step 5 is so important. So once again, whether you work with me or someone else, you have to do this critical 5. Step 1 is clarity and know where you're headed. Step 2, a step-by-step roadmap. Step 3, a skills upgrade. Step 4, master your psychology. And step 5, optimize your environment.
Those are brilliant steps because they're absolutely true, and you're absolutely correct that it's, necessary. It's not even a desire. It's necessary in order for success. And, even to add on that last part about, friends, family, what have you, listen, you need to surround yourself with people that are at the level you want to be at, not the level you're at. And a lot of times when that happens, okay, people are going to say negative things to you. That's why, you see a lot of successful people in the world and everybody's got something negative to say about them. You take somebody like Jeff Bezos, forget personality because that doesn't play in the role. It's a matter of the man started Amazon in a garage. Yeah. You got to give credit where credit's due. And that's the roadmap I want to follow, not the roadmap that keeps you in the garage.
Right. That's right. That's exactly right. And so, and that's what we try to do. We try to put you in a supportive environment because you have the organizational terrorists that are constantly beating you down. And that wears on you over time. So you need that supportive environment that will serve you and counter all that negativity. And so I think that, like I said, and like you said, I think these are 5 critical steps, with that 5th one being certainly very important as well.
Absolutely. And how do people reach out to you for more information, for more knowledge, for, more coaching in this matter or any other business matter, or just to get your book? Okay.
Well, it's easy. You go to nextstepcfo.net. And if you go there, you can download our book for free. And then go to nextstepcfo.net/contact. And I'd love to interview any business owner for the next edition of my book. And the way it works is really simple. It's 60 minutes on Zoom. I present strategies from my book, and then I ask your opinion as to the impact that strategy would have if a business owner were to implement it in your industry. And then I document it for the book. There's nothing to buy. But I promise you this: you'll learn business and financial strategies that your competition isn't doing. And if you go to that contact page of our website, nextstepcfo.net/contact, fill out the contact form, put book interview in the message section, and I'll send you a calendar link to schedule the interview.
Nice. Are there any other final words for today that you want to leave the listeners with?
I think that's it, except my normal thing. Don't keep doing what your competition is doing.
Well, thank you, Michael. You've been amazing as usual, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.